guys, we got a great Not Just Filler podcast today. I've got the mayor of the city of Lansing, Andy Shor. Now, let me just tell you real quick. I knew Andy before he was the mayor, and his reputation, it precedes him. He works with anybody who has a good idea. He's fair. He's right down the middle, and I think he's very positive. Very positive. I think people want that, and I think they want that in a leader. And so, Mayor, thanks for jumping on the podcast. Let's just get right into it, if you would.
Sure.
Tell me your background in politics and how you got here to the wonderful city of Lansing.
Well, it's an interesting story. I was in college and I went to DC and I did an internship, ended out on a campaign on the Clinton-Gore re-elect in 96.
Whoa.
1996, folks. But it was a great experience. And from there, I actually got a job with a guy named Gary Peters, who at the time was a state senator from Oakland County, who's now our U.S. senator. And from there, I ran for county commission and got elected. So I spent 10 years in the county commission. Here in Ingham County, representing Southeast Lansing. At the same time, I worked at the Michigan Municipal League. So I was representing Ingham County in the county commission and working for cities with the Municipal League. And decided that when Representative Joan Bauer here in Lansing termed out, that I would run for the House, and I did pretty well. I had probably 7 or 8 opponents in the primaries. As you all probably know, Lansing is a very Democratic seat, and I ran in the Democratic primary, and I won. And so I got to serve 5 years in the House of Representatives, and I gave up my 6th year to run for mayor, and the citizens of Lansing elected me mayor, and I just was able to be reelected a month or so ago with 65% of the vote. So that's where I am. That's how I got here.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I think, and we laughed about this before, the mayor and I always forget that we're different parties, but because we just kind of slip into, let's get things done. What are you working on? Probably the way it should be. But, I'm a Republican, very conservative area, and Lansing is very Dem. But I think there has been a change, and I want to discuss that in the way Clinton County views Lansing and the surrounding area. And I think the idea is if Lansing does well, Clinton County is going to do well. And that's going to add to the tax base. That's going to be opportunities for us, for our kids. And so that's a wonderful thing. So tell me, what are some wins you've gotten since becoming mayor in Lansing?
Yeah, we've got several really good wins, our accomplishments list. I try not to boost the accomplishments too much because I want people to just feel when they come to Lansing it's a fun place. But certainly, we knew we needed a grocery store downtown. It was one of the last things that I did in the legislature was to pass an incentive for that. I worked with your predecessor, Tom Leonard, who was my Speaker of the House, and we got that done. So now we have a wonderful capital city market, which has been fantastic, very popular. I wouldn't call it a food desert, but we were lacking in downtown grocery options. That's been a big deal. Done a lot of work on our corridors. We've established 2 new parks. We have a park called Rotary Park, which is downtown, right near where the city market used to be. And that city market is going to become what's going to be called the Lansing Shuffle, which is going to be a variety of small little restaurants and a big shuffleboard court, which is going to be awesome. We break ground in a month, and we're hoping to have it up in the spring. On our corridors, we've seen a lot of work. We've got a new park in the south part of town in South Lansing, where there's a soccer field called Beacon Park. So we've been able to do a lot of work creating housing for all incomes, whether it's affordable income or market rate housing. So there's been a lot of activity, a lot of growth. When I ran on growth in Lansing, and there's been a lot of activity. Certainly, we've done a lot on public safety, doing a lot with our police. We've added 10 new police officers. We're putting a lot of money into social services to make sure that folks have alternatives to going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
So these are all really important things for me here in the city, and they've been good successes, but a lot more work to do.
I think there's always been a feeling, and I don't know if you can back this up, like Lansing has great bones and great people and great talent, and I always feel, boy, I'd love to see it just take that next step. And so, I mean, I live in Clinton County, but I support you and I support what you're doing. And
that's been a great relationship. Working with Clinton County, working with you, working on legislation, being able to come in front of your committee, Mr. Chairman. It's been a great relationship. People like Bob Showers. There are a lot of folks in Clinton County who really believe in the region and that we all, all boats rise together. I put you on that list, and again, you've been great to work with. Many of your colleagues on the county commission. It's just been an incredible partnership for me within our region.
Look, we have a $600 million cheese plant now.
That's right.
The effect of that cheese plant, not just for the farmers or the ag community, but on property values, on a tax base, is just magnificent. Let's talk about today it's Monday.
It's Monday.
I lose track of time. Today is Monday, and I believe I just saw on Twitter that they're announcing there's going to be, we hope, a GM electric vehicle plant.
A battery plant.
A battery plant. Over on right at Delta Township, Lansing, at that old GM factory plant. I mean, that's massive. Thousands of jobs in the mid-Michigan area. And again, that ripple effect. And where does that come from? Are there incentives? Are they going to be part of it? Sure. You do things to attract businesses, but I mean, wow.
Yeah, without it, now we're competing for it, but we think that we have the advantage. If we do nothing, we have nothing. If we agree that in the future we'll give up some of our property taxes, we'll still get new income tax, and we'll get, like you said, 1,700, 2,000 new jobs, $50,000 a job and upward. The economic benefit is staggering. It will be incredible for Lansing. It'll be incredible for Clinton County, for DeWitt, all the way up to St. John's. People are going to work there. When you have 1,700 jobs, they're going to live all around the region. We're partnering with Delta Township. Again, we're willing to give up the future property taxes only for 15 years. But we'll still get income taxes, so it'll still be a boost to our economy. We know that they'll use power, so the Board of Water and Light will have power to give. Delta Township is going to have to do some wastewater stuff, so there's work there. So there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle. But again, like you said, having that property there right next to our plants, one of the things we're always afraid of is that these plants could shut down. 20 years ago, GM was going to leave, and then we made a deal where they stayed and opened a factory. Now, with a battery plant, especially getting product, if we can get these products, these cars with battery plants right here, this is going to stay open. It's such a benefit for our economy that working with GM on whatever the incentives are and being competitive. It's not just giving incentives, it's being competitive with states like Tennessee, states like Arizona. When they're giving out money, they're literally writing checks.
I know.
We're willing to give up some future taxes to have an incentive for them to be here and boost our economy. So I'm really excited. I know you've been working on this too, so I appreciate it.
And it gives you something to sell, though, as we continuously try to say, we've got Grand Rapids, which is exploding, the Metro Detroit area and Detroit itself exploding. Come to mid-Michigan, look how much we have to offer.
That's right.
And you can't do that if you don't have a safe area. So we talk about public safety all the time. Obviously, I chair Judiciary, which has been a way that we try to support law enforcement. We just passed a $300 million to fund local law enforcement, which really went to the heart of this conversation. If you have community invested law enforcement officers, if you have really good equipment, if you make it attractive to be in law enforcement, then you're going to lift up the public safety. And so, I don't know, I mean, it's been hard around here. You get some folks who do some really bad things and they go away to prison. That damages the mid-Michigan area. Yeah. So I'm sure you've been working on that.
We've been working on that, and we appreciate the legislature putting out funding. We're certainly going to be applying for it and asking for it. We've added about 10 police officers. We know that there are a variety of pieces with public safety. We know that there's community policing. So police being proactive, not just responding, but being proactive in our community, working with community members. We believe in that, in community policing officers. But we also have to get guns off the street that are illegal. We see a lot of that, so we have a violent crime initiative, and then we have detectives and others that are working through all the cases to make sure that people feel safe. And that's been a big deal and a big challenge. In Lansing and throughout the country, you're seeing a lot more gun violence. You're seeing a lot more anger. So our police are stepping up, but again, trying to build that trust to show we've got proactive work that we're doing. When a cop pulls over and starts playing basketball with some kids, or we do work with the school district. We do a lot of that to build trust and to show that they're there, they're friends. So that way, when a crime does happen, people are comfortable giving tips and helping to solve those crimes and providing justice for those who are victims.
I just learned about this. I did a podcast with the St. John's chief, and he said, we're really a low crime area, but if something pops up, we go directly to the source of the people we know. Someone has cameras in the area, business, and we get great partnership, and that speaks to the relationships that they built. and I can tell you that's a good thing for making a safer community. Okay, Mayor Shor, a fascinating job for wonderful Mid-Michigan people. I appreciate you diving in. Sometimes people ask me, you got into politics, it's a weird thing. Don't people yell at you all the time? Yes, but once you wade through a lot of this negativity, you can really stand in some good situations and try to create a better city, a better county, a better state. So thank you so much for jumping on, for the work you do, and I appreciate you.
Thanks, Graham. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.